Welcome to the 2022 Coaster Awards. Clap it up. Thank you. This year, for me, was a year of coasters, okay? I went to 11 different parks this year, and I rode 68 brand new roller coasters, okay? Pretty big deal. Thank you. Yeah, I know. So I decided to, I wasted a lot of money. I might as well at least get a video out of it because I'm too afraid to vlog. So instead, I'm just going to be in my living room talking to my camera while my cat watches in judgment. Oh, before we begin, I just need to say for the kiddos who may have stumbled across this video, this is not a kid-friendly video. I made it for adults. If you're going to proceed with this video, which I suggest you do not, okay, you should only repeat these words in front of your teachers. Thank you so much. Okay, so this award show is going to be a little bit different than some of the other award shows you may have seen, as in it's not going to be fun or professional in any way, and the categories I made up blindly, literally 10 minutes ago. So let us begin with the very first category. I understand why this ride is so loved. Yeah. So this first ride, I've heard a lot about it, a lot of good stuff. A lot of people love it, and it's, everyone brings it up, and I'm tired of hearing about it. The Beast. Never rode the Beast before until this year. Is it extreme? No, not really. It has its moments. As you can tell from the category, I understand why people love it. It's just a fun wooden roller coaster. It's a long ride. It's, you kind of flow and bounce over the hills. I like it. Okay. The Beast. I understand why you're so loved. Okay. All right. Next category. Best Halloween event. I went to 2 Halloween events. Only 2. I know. One Scarowinds at Carowinds, my home park here in Charlotte. And then Not Scary Farm. Not Scary Farms has won the best Halloween event. Scarowinds. I love Scarowinds, but Not Scary Farms has that really cool gun maze where you're going through with a gun, playing laser tag, and there's zombies. And I was with a really drunk group of people. I wasn't drunk. Okay, I don't do that. But I was with a really drunk group. One of the girls could not understand that there were zombies as well as good guys. So in this maze, you come in and they're like, oh, we're gonna, blah, 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 we need to defend and all that stuff. And you have this gun. And it's setting it up they're very clearly good and bad people. There are the good actors who are on your side, the survivors, and then there are the zombie vampire people, whatever they were. I don't know. Not because I was drinking. We were going through this maze, and one of the girls in this group, she was shooting the good people. The good people were trying to explain the next room and oh, you're about to go into the alley and the king's gonna be there, and she was just very loudly shooting them in the face, and they were trying to be polite. But anyways, other than that, it was a good time. They do it right out there. Thank you, Not Scary Farms. Is it Knott's Berry Farms? Knott's Berry Farm. Because I've said it both. I don't care. Anyways, here's where it's going to start going a little off the rails, if it hasn't already. The Gray Out Award. The Gray Out Award. What ride have I grayed out on? And it's going to get an award. All right. Is this the first ever tie between Tatsu, okay, that pretzel loop, yeah, you know what I'm saying, or Intimidator 305, okay? And I think we know that it is not going to be a tie because Intimidator 305 made me gray out more than the pretzel loop. The pretzel loop was fun. So here's the thing. I don't watch POV videos of any ride, before I ride them. If I've never ridden the coaster, which I've never ridden Tatsu before, I had no clue that pretzel loop was coming, okay? I try not to look at the ride. I want to be surprised and I don't know if it's going to go left or right or if I'm going to fall out of the seat, which comes a little bit later, okay? Stick around. Tatsu, that pretzel loop, made me feel like my ribs were shattering. But I didn't really gray out, okay? My cat's messing with a rubber band. All right. Well, so Gray Out Award goes to Intimidator 305. That thing slaps. I enjoyed it. All right. Best RMC. This one, again, I wanted to put this out there. We don't need to spend a lot of time. Okay. I rode Twisted Cyclone, Twisted Timbers, Twisted Colossus, and I'm sure some other ones, but Twisted Colossus wins. With the POV thing we're talking about, I was literally on the lift hill on Twisted Colossus, going up the lift hill. Here we are. And I look over and there's another track, and I'm like, and I asked the guy I'm riding with him, I'm like, where's the other station? And he's like, I don't know. What do you mean? And I'm like, isn't there two trains? There's a blue and a green side, dude. And he's like, I've never ridden this before either. And I said, oh, okay. I'm going to put my hands up now because we're at the top of the hill. And then but eventually you figure out both lift hills are for the same track. You go around twice and it's like you duel. I didn't duel. I almost sat and throw up, but I did not duel. But yeah, best RMC that I rode this year, Twisted Colossus. It's a very fun ride. Okay. Most unique. Okay. The top three. Now, I didn't spend a ton of time. Like, I kind of like made a list and I had to like record all the POVs for this, the background here, and it kind of refreshed my memory of what I did this year. But I didn't really spend a lot of time on the categories. 'Cause that's just how I roll. And this is my award show. Maybe I'll have something next year. Maybe, doubt it. The most unique. Monster Museum. Six Flags Over Georgia. Journey to Atlantis. SeaWorld Orlando. That's right. And West Coast Racer at Six Flags Magic Mountain. West Coast Racer. Six Flags Magic Mountain. Okay. Most unique. Journey to Atlantis is like a water coaster. I had no clue that thing was a water coaster. I had no clue that thing had 3 drops. Does it have 3 drops? I had no clue that thing had more than 1 drop. Wasn't expecting a water coaster. I really loved it. Okay. Journey to Atlantis. And yes, I counted it as a credit. I counted it as a credit for me. I don't care what you do with your credits. I don't care. I don't ride wacky worms and kiddie coasters, okay, because I feel like a predator waiting in line for them. But if you can count those, I'm going to count Journey to Atlantis. I don't care, okay? Unless you agree with me, then put that in the comments. If you don't agree, wait until you do agree with me on something and then comment, okay? Monster Mansion, I can't stop thinking about that ride. What a fun little ride. I rode it 2 times. No, I've ridden it 3 times because I just went last weekend. I rode it 3 times. All right, but the first 2 times I rode it, the small children, it was like a mom and a dad and a child in front of me, and I'm in the back, chilling. Both times the kids started crying when we went into the swamp. 10 out of 10 ride just for that. Making kids cry. I love it. But is it the most unique? And I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Monster Mansion is the most unique. However, it's not a roller coaster. So I'm going to say West Coast Racer. Because, dueling coasters, it's been around. It's been, a long time. But for whatever reason, I was just having so much fun watching the coaster. Like, watching the other coaster and the people, like, we're just staring at each other. And I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? This is crazy. And he's like, yeah, it's crazy, man. And then you never see him again because a different train, you race a different train second time. Anyways, not important. But I think of the coasters, I have to give it a West Coast Racer because it really felt good to, like, I don't know, just something about it. Okay, it was unique to me. This one's good here. This, I'm hopefully is a one and done category. I'm hoping we're not going to have to continue with this category for this coming year, but we shall see a year from now. Okay, this is and I apologize, family, if anyone's watching this, but Made Me a Bitch Award. This is the Made Me a Bitch award. Okay, this is a ride or an element on a ride that made me a bitch, that made me look like a bitch to people. Okay, here I am. I'm riding a ride. Okay, and if you know this ride that's behind me right now, you know what I'm saying. Maybe it didn't make you feel like a bitch. It made me feel like a bitch. Okay, I was riding this ride called Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I almost messed that up again. I kind of did. I don't know if you heard that. I'm riding this ride. My hands are up. My hands are up on every roller coaster except for some B&M Inverts that we'll get into a little bit later. I love B&M Inverts. Okay, B&M Inverts. Bulliger and Millard Inverts. I love them. Okay, but here I am. My hands are up. I'm in the front row. Never ridden this ride before. I got a full train of people behind me. Okay, they're judging. They're when you're in the back of the train, you're looking. You're saying, whose hands are up? That guy. Hey, that guy in row 3, his hands are up. I respect that. So all right, so I'm in row 1. My hands are up. Whole train sees me. It's like, I respect that guy. Okay, we hit that brake run. We stop. I'm good. All right, we're creeping along now. It's released us from its grips. We're about to make this turn. And I'm like, hey, this is a turn. We're going to take this turn real slow. I'm loving it. My hands are up, 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 up. Okay? We go around this turn. We take this turn so slow, and I am not expecting it because I don't know what's coming. I've never seen this ride before in my life. Okay? And I shift. I slide. I feel myself sliding. Okay, and in front of the entire train, I put my hands down. My hands went down and grabbed the bar like that. If they would have seen my face, that's what they would have seen. Just like that, I looked like a bitch. The whole train is saying, what's that guy never been on a roller coaster before? Is he never taken a turn before? He put his hands down. Let's make fun of him. I know what they were thinking, and I don't appreciate it. Six Flags Magic Mountain Goliath. I wrote it immediately after that to redeem myself. Okay, and my hands went like this. And I said, no, Greg. Not this time. My hands were up the second time, but I was in the back of the train, so it didn't matter because no one could see me. So, anyways, thank you, Goliath. Six Flags Magic Mountain. I'm going to get redemption one day. That was the made me look like a bitch award. Congrats to you. Okay. Best wooden coaster. It's a little boring, but I wanted to talk about this. Best wooden coaster. Grizzly is not the best wooden roller coaster. I fooled you. But I just want to give an honorary shout out as my first ever solo. I rode Grizzly the very first time in the very front row, and I was alone on the train. It was a little bit rough, but Grizzly was fun. I had nothing but a good time on Grizzly. Those other 4 people, thanks for them for not getting on because it gave me a solo. So I just want to point that out. Not that you care. My top 3 wooden roller coasters. Mystic Timbers. Okay, I don't think that was a surprise. Ghost Rider. And what might be a surprise is Apocalypse. Mystic Timbers was a great ride. It's not my top one, so we're gonna knock it down now. And now here's the discussion that I wanted to bring up to you, and I really do want y'all's comment here. I don't feel like I see people talk about Apocalypse as much anymore, and I thought Apocalypse was really, really great. Like I'm really considering. Well, I already know the winner, but Apocalypse. I really had to think on this. Apocalypse or Ghost Rider. Apocalypse or Ghost Rider, they both were insanely fun, and I really thought about giving it to Apocalypse. Okay, obviously the winner is Ghost Rider, but Apocalypse was fun. I really enjoyed Apocalypse. I want to ride it right now. I loved it. The only reason I think I'm even giving it to Ghost Rider is the night ride. Is I was able to ride Ghost Rider twice at night during the the Halloween Not Scary Farms. I rode Ghost Rider at night, and I think that just pushed it over the edge for me. Had I rode Apocalypse at night, we might have a different answer. I don't know how it feels at night, but Apocalypse, I just don't see people talking about it on forums and stuff. I love Apocalypse. And if you love Apocalypse too, and you think you would put Apocalypse in your top 3, let me know. When I wrote Apocalypse back to back, I loved it. That's all I can say. Shout out to Apocalypse. I'm going to ride you again very soon after I conquer Goliath. Okay? Because it's in the same park. Okay. Rides that act most like their name. We'll figure that out. Rides that, rides are named things and they're themed around things. What ride out of all of them made me feel like, you know what, that's a good name. This is a good name. I understand why they chose this name. And it is the Bat. At one of the Kings Island, King's Dominion. I don't remember. The Bat. I really felt, you were swooping around doing some crazy stuff, and I feel like a little bat right now. I'm swooping around, and for that, it wins the award of acting the coaster that acts most like their name that it's called. Okay, here is I've been mainly kidding this entire time, except for really the winners are the winners. I'm being genuine. I'm just kind of I'm obviously playing a little bit of a weirdo. Okay, more than a normal weirdo than I am, but I'm getting serious with you guys right now, and I'll really talk to you, and I want you guys in the comments right now to really tell me this. Best B&M Invert, okay? If I had to pick one type of coaster, it's not a Giga, it's not a Hyper, it's not a, blah, blah, blah. It's not an RMC. It is a B&M Invert. That, to me, is my favorite roller coaster, period. And I want to ride all of them, and I hope one day I get the chance. Okay, Nemesis, I'm coming for you. But for real, my very first ever looping real adult coaster, because I used to be terrified of roller coasters, be absolutely terrified. You could not get me on a roller coaster. But eventually I was peer pressured onto Afterburn, which was at the time Top Gun at Carowinds. All right, check it out behind me. I still think it's one of the better B&M Inverts, which we're talking about right now. But it was the first looping coaster, and I just love the aggressiveness of it. Like, I haven't ridden a B&M Invert that wasn't aggressive, but not like a rattly, bumpy feeling, but just like a super smooth, forcing you down in your seat feeling I really love. So, best B&M Invert. Obviously, we got Afterburn at Carowinds, okay? One of my favorite, and I'm extremely biased, okay, because it was my first ever proper looping adult roller coaster and my first B&M Invert, and it just so happens that it genuinely slaps. It genuinely is a good, aggressive B&M Invert. I'm very fortunate in that. So the top 3 out of those that we should talk about is Banshee, Montu, and Afterburn, okay? Now, this is real hard because Banshee, I really like spooky stuff. I'm into like the Halloween aesthetic. Banshee is themed right, okay? The sign they got is awesome. I love it. I love the drop hill on Banshee. It's phenomenal. I have a really, really good time on Banshee. And it's a long ride. It might not have the most inversions or the most aggressive layout, but I genuinely love Banshee. But then I was thinking, does it beat out Afterburn? And I don't think it does. I don't think Banshee beats Afterburn. So I think Banshee's taking the 3rd spot. Then it's Afterburn versus Montu. And I know some of the people are like, man, that's an easy decision. Montu. Easy decision. Okay? But for me, it's not, because Montu feels like Afterburn. There's only one moment in Afterburn that is a low, and that is the little bunny hop hill back over the station and the lift hill. I wish there was an inversion there. I wish there was something. The bunny hop's nice, and you get a tiny little breath, but you're still hauling through. You're still moving through that section, and then you go through a crazy inversion there, crazy barrel roll. But Montu, for me, where it comes down to is, yes, I would say it's just as aggressive. It has more inversions. It's a very fun ride. It's a good layout. The problem is the brake run in the middle. That's it. It's like Afterburn packs it in and just slamming you back and back and back, except for the little tiny bunny hill, which is not the same as a brake run. But Montu sends you through that brake run, and it kind of just it feels broken up, And I don't think I'm alone in that sentiment. I've seen people talk about that, but so that was really my decision of is Afterburn better than Montu? But I have to say no. I have to give the best B&M Invert that I've ridden so far to Montu, which hurts to say. If Montu did not have a brake run, and it had a little bunny hop section like Afterburn, it'd be no contest easy. But because it does, I just feel it takes away from it. Whereas Afterburn is just, it's all go. But it is what it is. So Montu, congratulations, you win. Best B&M Invert. And I'm hoping that I get to ride some new inverts this year. And we'll see if we can outdo Montu. Okay, this one, now we're back to the crazy. Okay, we'll be crazy now. This is the worst roller coaster I have ridden in my life. This is I wanted to do the coaster, the worst coaster. This is the worst coaster I've ever ridden. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, and I don't care because it's my show. You make your own award show, and then I'll come in and tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, okay? Let's do that. You comment below me. I'm going straight to your channel, okay? I'm going to be polite, but I'm going to disagree with you on something. How do you think that's going to make you feel? And if you don't even have any videos, comment anyways because it helps me with engagement. But this is the worst coaster in the entire planet. I don't think I'll ever ride a worse roller coaster. In fact, this is the only roller coaster that I will 100% say I will never ride again. Hurler at Carowinds, I will ride Hurler again. Okay, even though that ride sucks. But this is the worst roller coaster, and it is Viper at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Okay, Viper sucks. Viper is the worst roller coaster I've ever ridden. Here is me on Viper. The restraints are right here on my jaw, banging into the side of my cheek. It's like every single time the roller coaster moves 10 feet, I get punched in the jaw. Every time there's a loop, I get punched in the jaw. Every time I try to brace, I get punched in the jaw. When I rode Viper, I'm not kidding. I was actually pissed off when I got back to the station after riding Viper. I was genuinely upset. I wanted to fight the ride attendant for allowing me to ride the ride. Viper sucks. Viper, if you're watching this right now, you are the worst roller coaster in America, in the world probably. I can't imagine a worse, less piece of shit ride than you. Viper, I hope you are demolished. I will be there to dance on your grave. It wouldn't be so bad if they just fixed the restraints. If I was a little taller or a little shorter, maybe. It's right on my jawline every time, just hitting me repeatedly. I hate Viper. Pisses me off. Now it comes time for the big boy. The favorite coaster. This is not the last award, but my favorite coaster. And I went to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. Okay, so I think we all know what my favorite coaster is going to be. Can anyone take a guess? Comment, pause the video, comment right now. I went to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. What is my favorite ride? Comment below. Okay, now that you're back, or you watched, or you didn't pause, and that was awkward for both of us, Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. I went to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. They have a really cool ride that everyone loves. Okay, and just kidding. We're going to move on to a intermediate category called rides that should have been opened that weren't. Rides that should have been open but weren't. Okay, Iron Gwazi, you should have been open but you were not. Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. I know you want to talk about hurricanes in Florida. I was trying to go to Universal Studios in Florida. A hurricane came through in September, screwed up those plans. So I went to LA instead. So I went and got, Six Flags and all that stuff in near LA. That was fine. Then I scheduled a trip for Tampa Bay. I went to Orlando, went through, the fun spots, SeaWorld fun spots on my way to Busch Gardens, but there was a hurricane again. So I paid $150 to change my flight one day. So I missed the tail end of the hurricane, And it just so happened to be the day that Iron Gwazi was supposed to come out of its maintenance. It was closed for maintenance until that Friday. I was there on the 12th, I think, which is a Saturday, there to ride Iron Gwazi and to miss the Band of Rain on Thursday. Because originally it was supposed to be Thursday to Friday. I changed it to Friday to Saturday. Okay. I could have saved my money, been fine in Orlando, and then went to Busch Gardens on Friday. But instead, I went to Orlando on Friday and then went to Busch Gardens on Saturday to ride Iron Gwazi, and it was f***ing closed. So thank you for not being open when you should have, Iron Gwazi. So that's not my favorite coaster, just so you know, because I didn't get a chance to ride it. Okay, but here's some other coasters that should have been open, that have every excuse to be open, but weren't. Okay, X2. Where were you, X2? All right, I would have loved to ride you. Great American Scream Machine. Does this ride even exist anymore? Maybe it's just down for maintenance for years. Joker Funhouse Coaster. I don't know what that is, but it was on your list. Anaconda. I'm pretty sure it's an Aero Looper, or a Vekoma. I don't know, but I would have ridden it had it been opened. It wasn't. Racer 75 South. You know, the south side of the Racer 75. I would have ridden it to get that credit because I do count north and south and right and left side trains as credits. Okay, again, I don't care how you count your credit. I'm gonna count my credits however I want because it's my show. Okay, isn't that right? Here's my cat. Thank you. Okay, Racer. Another wooden dueling coaster, the red side. I did not ride the red side. I don't know if that's ever open again. Accelerator, I didn't know that it was closed until I got there, and I was like, hey, this might be an empty line. And then I realized the entire station is just ripped apart. So Accelerator, you probably couldn't have been open, but I wish you would have. And then here's another big fail from the old Magic Mountain. Wonder Woman, Flight of Courage, their brand new coaster just wasn't open that day. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to open later today. No, we're just not open today. We're not open. Okay, thanks, Wonder Woman, the brand new star attraction. It's just a 5-hour plane ride for me. It's no big deal. I'll go back for your one coaster. So thank you so much to those rides for not being open when they should have. Okay. Thank you, Iron Gwazi. All right. So now we can finally get back to my favorite coaster here. Okay, so... my overall favorite, and now I've ridden Fury 325, okay, and I thought about, is this award show going to be on brand new coasters I've never ridden? But that's not fair because I'm going to go this year, upcoming year, I'm going back to different parks that I've already been to. But I can't sustain that. I can't ride a new coaster. I can't ride a bunch of new coasters every year. Some are going to be old. And Fury 325, my favorite coaster is not... Okay, it's not Fury 325. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, I've ridden Fury 325. I was there when it first opened. I worked at Carowinds. I got an associate night ride before it even opened to any of you lamos. I've ridden it front, back, side to side, whatever. I've had my hands up, have not had my hands up. I've ridden it in the cold. I've ridden it in the drizzle. I've ridden it all different types of things. But and that's not Fury 325 is not gonna be my favorite coaster. Hate to say, it's a great ride. Fury 325 at night is going to be my favorite coaster. Okay. I went on to Carowinds and I had, fast lane because that's how I do it. I get the fast lanes. And I marathon Fury 325 at night. It was a little bit chilly. It was probably like, 55 to 60. It was just like little nipple. I don't know. I just fell in love with that ride all over again. Fury 325 at night, absolutely banger. Fury 325 in the day, I can think of rides right now that I would put above it, but I can't. So far, Fury 325 at night when it's a little bit chilly and you don't have to wait in lines. You can just, keep going back in because I got the fast pass. If you can ride it at night, please reward yourself and do so. Marathon it. All right. Ride it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 times in a row. Okay. Fury 325 at night. Congratulations. You just won my favorite coaster of 2022. And now the ultimate winner of the Octopus Best Park Award. This is my special thing. You won't see this on any other channels. This is why you come here. The Octopus Best Park of 2022 Award. Okay? All right? I gotta look at my card because I really don't remember who I gave it to. Oh, yes, that makes sense. Six Flags Magic Mountain. You lose. You didn't have Wonder Woman open, your star ride for that year, and that really hurt my feelings. Knott's Berry Farms with Knott's Scary Farms is the real second place winner, okay? They're not the winner either, okay? Knott's Berry Farms, fantastic. I had a super great time. I stayed at the little Knott's Berry Farm hotel, but they do not get the octopus, even though the Knott's Scary Farms was probably one of my favorite nights of the year when I went there, especially with the drunk people that I was not partaking in, and I was just observing because I'm a good boy. Knott's Scary Farms almost did it. Almost did it for y'all. Y'all came so close, okay? But Kings Island, you win the best park because all of your rides were open, I think. Don't go back and look at my list of rides that should have been open. Maybe I messed up. Maybe Kings Island didn't have all the rides open, but Six Flags did not have their star attraction open. And Knott's Berry Farm, it was a great time. You know what? No. Kings Island, you win. Knott's Berry Farms, you were this close. I just about gave it to you. I love your park, but Kings Island, for me, for whatever reason, I just had a good time. I love Kings Island. It was a great time. I can't wait to go back. But Kings Island, if you want to send a representative to my house to get your award, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, I will keep it here. Thank you all so much for watching. We have a lot of weird content here. We're about to get into our golf season channel. It's about to be golf time on this channel, so if you want to see golf, subscribe. If you want to see comedy skits and other stuff, I promise the rest of the people I film with, they're much funnier than me. Do not tell them I said that. They will never see this because I can say it. I think they're funny. They're not as cool as me or handsome, but together we are very funny. I'll say that. Together we're funny. If you want to see us do comedy skits together, please consider Six Flags Magic Mountain. Please consider subscribing and liking. Comment below. Tell me what your favorite rides of the year were, and if you saw any of my list or anything behind. If you saw it behind me, I wrote it, unless it was mentioned specifically during the rides that weren't open. If you saw it behind me, I wrote it this year. Tell me if I'm completely wrong on something, or if you agree, whatever. Be nice, be cool. We'll be friends. Maybe we'll go out for a beer and hit up Knott's Scary Farms. Okay? I love you guys. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye.